Okay, on 29 says find the exact value of each variable in the exact area of each triangle. So what kind of triangle must number 28 be? 45, 45, 90. How did you know that?
Because it's like the isosceles.
Yeah, because the two legs are the same length. So what were the ratio of the sides of a 45, 45, 90? So it's 1, 1. So that means if you're going from leg to hypotenuse, it's times square root of 2. If you're going from hypotenuse to leg, it's divide by square root of 2. Yes. And the other one was 60, 30, 90, right? So this was what?
1, 2, square root of 3.
Okay, so if you're going from short leg to hypotenuse, it's twice as big. If you're going from hypotenuse to short leg, it's half as big, so divide by 2. If you're going from short leg to long leg, it's square root of 3 times bigger. If you're going from long leg to short leg, it's divide by square root of 3. Alright, got it? So, on 29, we got a 30, 60, 90 lying down. So this is 30. So they give us the short leg is 2 square root of 3. We're supposed to find x and y. So how do we go from, let's start with x. How do we go from the short leg to the, what side is this? Hypotenuse. Times 2. What's 2 square root of 3 times 2? 4 square root of 3. Okay, that's the hypotenuse. How do we go from the short leg to the long leg? Right here, short leg to long leg. You guys see how these are the same? This one's lying down, this one's standing up. It's times square root of 3. What's 2 square root of 3? Whoops, not good. Times square root of 3. Square root of 3 times square root of 3 is 3. Times 2 is 6. Okay, so that one is 6, and that one was 4 square root of 3. Okay, the other thing they ask for is area. How do we find the area of this triangle? Or any triangle, let's say. Base times height divided by 2, right? So, base 6, height 2 square root of 3. Base times height divided by 2. This times 2 and divided by 2 kind of cancel out, so it's 6 square root of 3. Do they give us any units? No, they don't. So let's just put 6 square root of 3 units squared for that. So these two are an answer in the area. Alright. Then on 28, how do you go from the 6, which is the hypotenuse, to D, which is a leg? Divide. It's getting smaller, right? Divide by square root of 2. And remember that D is not the only answer. You also have to... You guys know how to divide by square root of 2? A lot of you got calculators that can do it. Instead of being 3, it's 3 square root of 2, basically. Anyway. But then to find area, you have to do base times height divided by 2. 31. $66 XCY. this time we're not finding area, we're just finding x, y, and z. X. Okay, this is there's 60 degrees there, so this is a 30, 60, 90. If this is 6, what side of the triangle is this? Long leg. This is the hypotenuse, right?
Yep.
Yep. You concur. How do you go from the long leg to the short leg? Long leg to the short leg. Divide by square root of 3. So 6 divided by square root of 3. You guys want to guess what it is? 2 square root of 3. It's 2 square root of 3. Okay, if this is 2 square root of 3, so how do you go from the short leg to the hypotenuse on a 30, 60, 90? Times 2. So this times 2 is 4 square root of 3. Okay, and then for z is over here on the 45, 45, 90. So x is one of the legs. So how do you go from the leg to the hypotenuse?
Where do you go?
Times square root of 2, right? You're getting bigger going from the leg to hypotenuse. Times square root of 2. What's this times square root of 2? Oh, wrong one. It's supposed to be this one. Times square root of 2. Square root of 3 times square root of 2 is square root of 6. So this should just be 2 square root of 6.
This is like some. I mean, it's like they just you know what, Shannon? You're just mean.
Why did you say Shannon?
Shannon.
It's like an onion because she's.
Says you, the one that
She
Mark
was
loves.
right.
Well, I have the iPhone 10. No, it's the iPhone SE special version because it's like special. Okay.
Okay,
It's very anyway.
33 says find the area and the length of the diagonal of a square whose perimeter is 20. Oh, did I read the wrong one? Yes, I did. 33 says find the perimeter and area of a square if the diagonal is 8. What should we do first? Draw it, yes. Okay, if the diagonal is 8, let's say 8 what? Centimeters? How do I go from a diagonal? How do I figure out how long each, like, one of these sides is? What kind of triangle did I make here? How do you go from the hypotenuse? 45, 45, 90. How do you go from the hypotenuse to a leg? You guys know what that's going to be without a calculator?
4 square root of 2.
Yeah, 4 square root of 2. Okay, so this is a square, so that means everything is 4 square root of 2. Now, there's 2 questions. Perimeter. What would the perimeter be?
20 meters.
No?
Oh.
Yes. This times 4, or 4 of these added together. 4 times 4, 16 square root of 2.
Oh my goodness.
Centimeters. Is it centimeters or centimeters squared? Centimeters. Perimeter is a length, like one-dimensional. Area, how do I find area of the square? Right. 4 square root of 2 times 4 square root of 2, or 4 square root of 2 squared. 4 times 4 is 16. What's square root of 2 times square root of 2? 2. 16 times 2 is...
Oh, goodness. That's funny.
Alright. 35. Find the radius and area of a circle whose circumference is 30 pi. Okay, you guys remember what circumference means?
Any around the circle.
The distance around the circle, 30 times pi. And my circles are getting good. Get good, people. Alright, what's the circumference formula? No. Wait, what'd you say the second time? 2r pi or what else? Diameter times pi. So if the circumference for this circle, if the circumference for this circle is 30 pi, what does that tell us?
30 times 5 is the answer.
Okay. No. If the circumference is 30 pi, and the circumference is equal to diameter times pi, the diameter must be 30. Okay. Yeah, the question was, what's the radius though? Because is this like centimeters again? Shh. So the radius is 15. And then what's the area formula? Pi r squared. So does anybody know what 15 squared is?
225.
Alright. What did I do wrong?
You did square, no, you, pi.
I didn't put pi.
Yep.
Okay, so you can write that, or you could write the decimal version, which is 206.9, or 706.9, I mean. Okay, any questions on that one? That was 35. 37, this one's kind of weird. See if you can make sense on the first read of this on the first read through. Which theorem verifies that the base angles of the triangle formed by consecutive radii and the intercepted side of a regular polygon are congruent? No.
Oh,
It starts with an I.
Huh?
She said circumference.
It starts with an I.
What do you mean?
The answer.
Did you look it up?
It starts with an I.
That's a yes.
institution.
Okay. The question was, what theorem says this is true? So let me give a picture of what they're talking about. So do you guys remember they call these things radii, radius, plural? They basically said, how do we know that these two angles are the same? Yes, it's because, it's an isosceles triangle. It's called the, good job, Hope, unless you just got that out of the back like she did. Isosceles triangle theorem. If two sides of a triangle are congruent, their base angles are congruent. Anyway, that's the answer.
Isosceles triangle theorem.
Mm-hmm.
Isosceles.
Do we need to separate you two?
Yes. I vote yes.
Yeah, sit Olivia next to Grant.
Yeah.
What did I do? She's the one that just slapped me across the head.
Man,
Exactly why you should go sit by Grant.
Grant next to Shannon.
Rest in peace.
Please no. I would literally murder myself. You guys are gonna make me suicidal.
I was just threatened to die. That's not what I
Grant's
was.
Okay, Number 39. Shh, hush. Find the length of the apothem of a regular octagon. You guys remember what an apothem was? Hush.
Wasn't that like, oh yeah, I saw this on the video.
Wow.
Feeling like you.
Oh, Oh my goodness gracious.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
That was, we called it the apothem. It goes from the center straight down. It's kind of like if we draw the radii in, it's the height of one of those triangles. By the way, as a reminder, how do I find one of these central angles in here?
You divide by
Like what that angle is right there.
divide by
Divide what?
By 360.
360 in a circle, so 360 divided by, in this case, octagon, divided by 8. Okay, what was the area formula? This is not on that sheet and you do need to know it. What's the area formula for regular polygon?
Base times height.
Half apothem times perimeter. Okay, that's for any regular polygon. You guys know what a regular polygon is?
Sure.
Equal sides, equal angles. So it's a special case. It's got to be perfect. All right. Kind of forgot what we were talking about. 39 is what we're talking about. The sides are 5, and the area is 120 something meters squared. Okay, the question is, how do I find the apothem? We're going to plug stuff into the formula and solve for the apothem. Okay, where does the 120 go? Capital A, that's the area. 120 equals 1/2. What do I put for the apothem? Just a little late. I don't know this one. What do I put for the perimeter?
40.
5 times 8. 40.
Yay.
Does order of multiplication matter?
No.
Like if you're multiplying a bunch of stuff? No. So 1/2 times 40 is 20. And then A must be what? 6. I think that's all they asked for on this one. 6 meters. Yeah, that's all they asked. Okay. On number 40, it says find the length of the apothem and the area of an equilateral triangle with 7-inch sides. So 7-inch sides, equilateral triangle. The apothem, so here's the center of the triangle.
What's that word?
All right. What must one of these central angles be right here? 360 divided by 3. There's 3 of them, right? 1, 2, 2, 3. So 120. And then if I split up one of these triangles with an apothem, what must this angle just right in here be? 60. So an apothem is 90. So if this is 7 right here, like the whole side, what is this right here? A book probably put 7/2. And then how do I go from long leg to short leg? Divide by square root of 3. So the book probably did this. 7/2. If you're dividing by square root of 3, it goes on the bottom. Multiply top and bottom by square root of 3. You get 7 square root of 3 over, what's square root of 3 times square root of 3? 3 times 2. Anyway, that's the apothem. That's one of the things they wanted. And then we actually could have used this for the area. But since we already know the apothem, what was the formula we could use? 1/2 apothem perimeter, right? 1/2 times the apothem. What's the perimeter?
21.
Yeah, 21. You could use that also. 1/2 apothem perimeter. On pretty much all these problems, you can put the square root answer or the decimal. Pretty much everything, they put both. 41, the area of a regular hexagon with side of 44. I think I drew a hexagon earlier, but let's see if I can. I always draw the top too long. Oh, that's good.
That was actually really good.
Yeah. Girl, do it. You go do it.
Come on, man.
I never said I could do better. I'm just saying.
You're in.
It's
But never
good,
did that
Shannon.
best.
I've never said I could do better.
That's the best.
Why are you bothering me?
Okay. So it says the sides are 44, but it doesn't tell us. It doesn't tell us the apothem, so we gotta find the apothem. Gonna do kind of what I just did on the last one. What must this angle right here be?
360 divided by like.
Oh, so it's 60.
360 divided by 6 is 60 degrees. And then if I split it up with an apothem, what must this little angle be? 30. Okay. And then, so if this guy is 44, what's this right here? 22. How do you go from the short leg to the long leg? 22 square root of 3. So now we have an apothem. Did they ask for the apothem or just ask for the area? I think? Okay, just the area. So, how do we find area again? 1/2 apothem perimeter. So it's 1/2 times apothem, 22 square root of 3 times perimeter. How would we find that? 44 times 6, which would be like 240 plus 24, 264. Well, if I was plugging this in the calculator, here's what I do. What's 1/2 of 22? 11. So I would just do 11 times 264, and then put square root of 3 on it. Girls, settle down.
Oh, that's fine.
It doesn't matter. You can do the whole thing. You can put the decimal too, but I wouldn't. I would just put the square root of 3 on the answer. Comes out as 2904, I guess. 2904 square root of 3.
What the heck?
Units. They didn't give us any units, so unit squared.
That was a big problem. Totally.
Yeah, be thankful it's even or odd. I mean.
My reactions have been before.
Are there any hard, even,
I tried to maybe.
really long ones?
I'm not. I don't think there's any as hard, but I might be wrong. Okay. If you get stuck, you can ask for help. Okay. 43. We're almost there. We're supposed to find. Oh boy. We're supposed to find the area of the shaded region. How's that, Shannon? That meet your standards?
Yes.
Okay.
Why are you making fun of my voice?
No, this is not what do you accept the terminations of the surrogate down?
It's equilateral.
This video like in the background?
You just get to hear it, and like,
Bro, you listen every single time there's a single reason doesn't book it.
Okay, so here's the thing. We're supposed to find the shaded region. So what is our plan of action? Like, what's the general steps?
so you find it.
Right, circle gives you the area of the whole thing, and then you just take out the area of the triangle, right? So it's circle area minus triangle area. Okay, the problem is, what's the problem with finding the circle area? We don't know. What do we need to know? What are we missing? Radius. Okay, now I did this trick like 5 minutes ago. That's a radius, that's a radius. How many degrees was this 5 minutes ago? 120. If I draw in the apothem, it becomes 60. So 30, 60, 90. So if this is 24, what's this right here? 12. If this is 12, long leg, 12, short leg. Getting smaller, right?
Oh, I see.
Divide by square root of 3. I feel like we did this one triangle earlier, didn't we? Like at the beginning of class. Anyway, it's 4 square root of 3. We need that for later because that's the apothem of the triangle. And if the short leg is 4 square root of 3, what's the hypotenuse?
8.
Right, times 2. 8 square root of 3. I feel like this one's probably the hardest, counting the odds and the evens. But we already talked about the equilateral triangle stuff. So, circle area. How do I find circle area? You guys know it yet? Pi r squared. Triangle area. Well, base times height divided by 2, but since it's a regular triangle, you can do 1/2 apothem perimeter. It'd be a lot easier. Because we know the apothem. Alright. Circle area, we don't know the height yet. It would be like that plus that, because this is another radius. So the height would be like 12 square root of 3. But I'm not going to do that. We're going to do 1/2 apothem perimeter. Circle area, pi r squared. What's the r? 8 square root of 3. Right there. Okay. Squared. What's 8 times 8?
64.
Square root of 3 squared. Square root of 3 times square root of 3. 3. 64 times 3 is like 192. So the circle area is 192 pi minus triangle area 1/2 times the apothem times the perimeter. What's the perimeter?
24.
No. 24, 24, 24. 24 times 3. 72. Okay, on this section I didn't read the directions, but it said rounded the tens place. So in other words, if we were doing the exact answer, it would be like 192 pi minus 1/2 of 4 is 2 times 72, 144 square root of 3. Okay, this is the exact answer, but the direction said round to the tens place. So in other words, just change it to a decimal. They have units, I don't think so. So I'm gonna do this in my head. Watch this. 353.8.
Wait,
Wow.
Your face, you're just like,
Bro, how is he-
You are so good.
that was quick.
Caden's impressed.
Oh, I look at the
Should
book.
be.
You look at the book.
What?
No?
I just really.
He looked, dude, you.
Did he look in the book?
No.
He looked in the book.
Not the smartest person.
You
That took me a while.
I tricked.
trickster.
You really thought he was.
It's serious,
That's pretty.
He's like,
No, I saw it, he's like,
I was
I think
thinking
he
in my
actually did
head.
that.
let me think really hard.
I'm disappointed.
What happened?
No, if somebody can do that in their head, they're officially a math genius.
It was stuck in my binder.
What did that mean?
Oh my god, it was in my binder. You stuck it.
Okay, last one of the odds. Okay, so this one has a 20, oh boy.
Oh no, you messed up.
The one thing I'll never master about the smart board. Like, if you don't hold the pin just right, it drags instead of writes. So who knows what's gonna do. Like, see.
The old smart board.
Just do it right.
Wow, Willow, no way.
Sorry, Willow, we're not all perfect like you are.
Who said that to me earlier? Who said that to me? Skylar did.
I think I said it to Skylar too. The gift goes on.
Can you like makes the iPhone
You're
like a credit name?
You're the first one to break that.
Okay, so the shaded, what? Yes, shaded region is outside the triangle again.
Mine was 40.
This triangle is a little bit easier though, because it's a right triangle. Okay, what kind, alright, what kind of triangle do we have here? Right, because the legs are the same length. So how do you go from the hypotenuse to the leg? Getting smaller, divide by square root of 2. Does anybody want to guess what that is without a calculator? It is 10 squared root of 2. So we got 10 squared root of 2, 10 squared root of 2. How do we find the area of a triangle normally? Base times height divided by 2. Okay, what's 10 times 10? What's square root of 2 times square root of 2?
2.
So we got 200. Square root of 4, which is 2. Okay, what did I do wrong?
Divide.
I forgot to divide by 2. So the area of the triangle is 100. Actually, maybe I should have done the circle first. What's the area of what's the circle formula? What's the R on this circle? 10. 10 squared. So we got 100 pi on the circle and then minus 100 on the triangle. Pi is 3.14, but to be a little more accurate, because we got to round to the 10th place, it's 3.142. So if you multiply that by 100, it's 314.2 minus 100 is 214.2. What are the units? Centimeters this time. That wasn't as bad as the last one, I don't think.
How did we get 200?
Because it was.
That was a lot.
This times this is 314.2. They asked us to change it to a decimal on that section. So on 42 and 44, go ahead and put a decimal answer. Do you guys recall how to do 44? Just what's that little piece of pie called? Sector. Do you guys remember the sector area formula? Okay, pi r squared. Did you do that from memory? Or you just looked it up earlier?
No, it's right here.
You got notes?
A lot is not.
Okay, central angle over 360.
Why are you looking at me?
Because that angle over 360 tells you what fraction of the circle you're actually using. So the fraction times this whole circle.
Dang it, bro. I
Forgot
did,
to tell that to the other class.
I did pi r2 times angle 360.
Okay, 46. You guys might remember this. A church devotes 15% of its general offerings to missions. 15% to missions. Determine the central angle measure for the sector representing missions. So if 15% is going to missions, what should that central angle be for that piece of pie?
Maybe.
So if you're drawing a pie graph and 15% is going to missions,
Oh wait, it's 360 divided by 2.
what will that angle have to be?
Oh, I got it right.
It'd have to be 15% of
Oh, it's my.
360, right? There's 360 in a circle,
Oh.
and we want just 15% of that. 15% of 360. Remember that assignment? It was like the last one we turned in.
That's the one I'm about to fade.
Ooh.
Man, I'm doing.
So you just do 15%, 0.15 of times 360. Short and sweet. All right, work on those